Good morning. This is Nature in Your Backyard with Frank Taylor coming to you from my backyard in Floyd County, Virginia. I'm doing an experiment as I teach you about science. I've got a microphone hidden inside this little furry rabbit, and it's supposed to allow my voice to come clean even though we've got a lot of wind. We had a strong front move through last night and we got a lot of heavy rain and a lot of wind, and we're still getting a lot of wind. So remember that my show is about, right now at least, it's following nature through spring. If you go outside, what are you going to see now? What are you going to see on trees, on the ground? What's flowering? What leaves are coming out? And yesterday I ran into two plants. I ran into Virginia Creeper and I ran into poison ivy. And they're just starting to produce their leaves right now. So I thought this would be a great time to show you the difference. Also, I've had a couple calls with people asking me, hey, Mr. Taylor, is this poison ivy? And it was actually Virginia Creeper. Virginia Creeper does resemble poison ivy. So let me switch my camera around and let's take a look at what Virginia Creeper looks like right now this spring as it's starting to emerge. So I took this off a tree, and you can see that Virginia Creeper, like poison ivy, is a vine. And like poison ivy, Virginia Creeper has leaves that have kind of jaggedy edges on them. And like poison ivy, I think you can see that these leaves are a little bit brown and a little bit shiny. And that's an indicator of poison ivy as well. So I took one of the leaves and set it on a card so we could look at it a little bit closer. And let's check this out. You can see that this leaf is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaflets. So the rhyme is leaves of 3, let it be, leaves of 5, let it thrive. So you can identify Virginia Creeper by being a vine that creeps up trees and on the sides of walls, or by its 5 leaflets. And again, it does somewhat resemble poison ivy, because if you took the 2 other leaves away, and with that shininess and kind of a brown tinge, it really would look like poison ivy. Another thing you can look at to identify Virginia Creeper and compare it to poison ivy is if you look very closely at the hairy-like attachment points, the hairs that attach to something. Both poison ivy and Virginia Creeper are hairy vines. So if you see them on a tree and there's no leaves on it, it's hard to tell which one is a Virginia Creeper and which one is a vine. But look, can you see how each of these tendrils of this vine end in a little pad? And that's a sticky pad that sticks to the tree or wall that it helps it climb. So Virginia Creeper has 5 leaflets, while poison ivy has 3. Virginia Creeper is a hairy vine too, but its hairs end in little pads, and you can use that to help identify things. So Virginia Creeper, poison ivy, leaves of 3, let it be. Leaves of 5, let it thrive. And look for the sticky pads on the end of the tendrils of Virginia Creeper. And they're kind of interesting too. Now, the funny thing about Virginia Creeper, everybody says, oh, it's completely safe. Well, actually, it's not. Some people, not a lot of people, but some people get a reaction after they've torn Virginia Creeper vines off a tree or off the walls of their house and stuff. Virginia Creeper contains a chemical called oxalic acid, and it varies in intensity, and some people have a reaction to it. Not very many people. Poison ivy has a chemical in it called urushiol, and it's in the oils of the poison ivy. And because it's in the oils, it's good to wash with soap, because soap will take off the oils if you think you've been in contact with poison ivy. Also, the ingredient that your body reacts to is a protein. And detergents like Tide have enzymes in it. You hear about Tide fighting stains, and a lot of stains, like grass stains, are from proteins. And Tide detergents for washing your clothes have enzymes in them to get stains out. So it might be good if you get poison ivy or you got contact with poison ivy to wash off not just with soap, but a little bit of detergent, though that can be irritating to the skin. Poison ivy and Virginia creeper are both what we call woody vines. What's a woody vine? Well, a woody vine is like a tree. That means that each year that they survive, they grow, and they're there from year to year. So these woody vines like Virginia creeper and poison ivy lose their leaves in the wintertime, and the woody part of their vine remains, and then they continue growing the next year. And sometimes these vines can be really, really big. So this has been Nature in Your Backyard. Today's topic was Virginia creeper. Leaves of 3, let it be. Leaves of 5, let it thrive. See, make sure you know the difference. And I will be posting a video shortly after this on poison ivy on my YouTube channel. You can get my links to the YouTube channel off of my Facebook page, or track me down and write to me. So we are following spring, and I've got some cool stuff coming up this week. I got water boatmen, I got newts, I got all kinds of stuff. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in today.